Hello movie buffs and welcome to TV Decoded, the place where the stories behind movies come to life. Get ready to dive deep into the stories that have captured our hearts and minds. Join us as we journey through the plots, dissect the characters, and uncover the hidden gems and fascinating facts of cinematic masterpieces. The movie of the day is Fight Club. Before we get started, please consider subscribing as it really motivates us to bring out more content for you guys. With all that being said, let's dive in. Fight Club, directed by David Fincher and released in 1999, takes us on a thrilling and enigmatic journey through the labyrinthine depths of modern life, personal identity, and rebellion. As we step into the shadowy world of the film, the unnamed protagonist, portrayed by Edward Norton, becomes our guide through this gripping and thought-provoking narrative. The movie opens with a jarring montage of corporate culture, symbolizing the relentless machinery of consumerism and conformity that drives our protagonist's existence. His weary, despondent voice narrates his insomnia, a condition that compounds his sense of isolation and disillusionment. His life is a never-ending loop of sterile offices and empty consumerism, depicted through the bland and monotonous visuals of his daily routines. Our protagonist's voice, laced with despair, becomes a chilling companion on his nocturnal journeys through the sterile world of consumerism. The fluorescent-lit aisles of department stores become his sanctuary as he searches for meaning in a world defined by materialism. The turning point of his life occurs during a chance encounter on an airplane. He meets Tyler Durden, portrayed by Brad Pitt, a charismatic and enigmatic soap salesman. Their conversation is a collision of two contrasting worlds, a spark that sets in motion the unpredictable chain of events that will define the movie. As the film unfolds, our protagonist's apartment is reduced to smoldering ruins in a mysterious explosion, leaving him homeless and vulnerable. With nowhere to turn, he seeks refuge in the dilapidated house of Tyler Durden. This decaying house becomes the crucible of their transformative journey. It's here that the concept of Fight Club is born. The first rule: you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule: you do not talk about Fight Club. These rules become a cryptic mantra, capturing the clandestine nature of the club and the rebellious spirit that it nurtures. Fight Club becomes an underground world where men gather to unleash their pent-up aggression and reclaim a sense of identity and purpose. But as Fight Club evolves, so does its underlying philosophy. The visceral and often brutal fights become more than just physical release. They serve as a means for these disenfranchised men to find a sense of empowerment. The club's subversive nature transforms it into a symbol of resistance against a world that they feel has stripped them of their masculinity and identity. However, this transformation takes a dark and anarchic turn as Fight Club evolves into Project Mayhem. This secretive organization aims to dismantle the very fabric of capitalist society, setting its sights on destroying the symbols of consumer culture. The film's narrative hurtles forward, taking us deeper into the abyss of rebellion and chaos. The turning point in the story occurs when the narrator realizes that Project Mayhem is spiraling out of control, causing severe damage to society and endangering lives. The film's enigmatic power lies in its exploration of the blurred line between the protagonist and Tyler. As the story unfolds, the once tangible line separating the narrator and Tyler begins to blur, and the film plummets into an intricate psychological maze. The revelation that the narrator and Tyler are, in fact, the same person is a jarring revelation, underscoring the narrator's dissociative identity disorder and the depth of his internal conflict. The climax of the film is a shocking and visually stunning showdown. Armed with a gun, the protagonist confronts Tyler in a metaphorical battle of wills. The gunshot that resonates through the climax serves as a powerful symbol of the protagonist's inner struggle and his ultimate rejection of extremism. As the dust settles and the world around them crumbles, the film's final moments depict the protagonist standing beside Marla Singer, portrayed by Helena Bonham Carter. They bear witness to the destruction of the old world, a striking metaphor for the destruction of their former selves and the rebirth that follows. In that moment, there is a palpable sense of catharsis, or reclamation of identity in the face of chaos. Fight Club is a cinematic odyssey that challenges societal norms, consumerism, and the essence of human identity. It is a dark and thought-provoking exploration of the human condition in a world marked by superficiality and materialism. The film lingers in the mind, leaving audiences with profound questions about the nature of existence and the pursuit of authenticity in a society dominated by conformity. It is a cinematic experience that disturbs, mesmerizes, and remains etched in the memory long after the final credits roll. Now let's try to understand the meaning of the movie. Fight Club is a film that explores a plethora of themes and societal critiques, making it a thought-provoking and impactful work of art. Consumer culture and alienation. The film is a scathing critique of modern consumer culture and the alienation it creates. It portrays a world in which people are increasingly disconnected from their own lives, seeking meaning and identity through material possessions and shallow experiences. The characters in the film are disenchanted with their consumer-driven, consumer-obsessed lives and are searching for authenticity and a sense of self. Masculinity and identity. Fight Club delves into traditional notions of masculinity and the crisis of identity faced by men in contemporary society. The formation of Fight Club and Project Mayhem reflects a longing for a return to a more primal, authentic form of masculinity. Tyler Durden represents the ultimate rejection of emasculating societal norms. The narrator's journey represents his struggle to reconcile the different facets of his identity, from the passive consumer to the anarchic rebel. Dissociative identity. The film's central revelation that the narrator and Tyler Durden are the same person serves as a metaphor for dissociative identity disorder. It symbolizes the internal conflict between societal conformity and the desire for rebellion. It suggests that everyone has a suppressed, hidden side, and confronting and reconciling with it is essential for personal growth and liberation. The destructive power of rebellion. Fight Club illustrates the fine line between rebellion and anarchy. What starts as a form of rebellion against consumer culture quickly spirals into chaos and destruction. The film raises profound questions about the consequences of extreme ideologies and the need for balance between resistance and responsibility. Search for meaning and catharsis. The film's resolution, with the narrator shooting himself, symbolizes catharsis, a purging of his inner turmoil and a rejection of Tyler's nihilistic philosophy. It suggests that finding meaning and personal growth often require confronting one's inner demons and rejecting destructive ideologies. Now let's move on to the character study. The narrator, played by Edward Norton. The film's protagonist, symbolizes the alienation and dissatisfaction experienced by many in modern consumer society. His chronic insomnia and materialistic existence reflect the struggle to find fulfillment and purpose in a world driven by consumerism. As the narrative progresses, he undergoes a transformation from a passive observer to a radicalized individual, representing the internal struggle to find identity and meaning in a world that often feels meaningless. Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt. Tyler is the charismatic, anarchic alter ego of the narrator. He represents the darker, unrestrained aspects of the narrator's personality that have been stifled by societal norms. Tyler is a charismatic figure who boldly rejects consumer culture, advocating for a return to primal masculinity and anti-materialism. His character embodies the desire to break free from conformity and the allure of rebelling against the system. Marla Singer, played by Helena Bonham Carter. Marla is a complex character who shares the narrator's sense of alienation and despair. She, too, seeks solace in support groups, mirroring the narrator's own actions. Her character serves as a mirror to the hollowness of modern relationships and the difficulty of forming genuine connections in a world dominated by superficiality. Project Mayhem members. The anonymous members of Project Mayhem symbolize the disillusioned individuals who have been drawn into Tyler's extremist ideology. They become a destructive force, blindly following Tyler's commands to disrupt the symbols of consumer culture. Their unwavering loyalty to Tyler reflects the desperate search for identity and meaning in a conformist society. Now, here are some fascinating facts about the movie. Brad Pitt's broken tooth. Brad Pitt's character, Tyler Durden, has a distinctive chip in his front tooth. Pitt had a dentist chip his tooth for the role. The film's budget. Despite its cult status and critical acclaim, Fight Club was not a commercial success upon its initial release. It had a budget of $63 million but grossed only $37 million at the domestic box office. The Starbucks coffee cup. Throughout the film, the famous Starbucks coffee cup can be spotted in various scenes. This was an intentional choice by director David Fincher, who used it to highlight the ubiquity of consumer culture and its influence on everyday life. The Starbucks cup also features a hidden message, as the circular logo on the cup frequently appears centered on the screen, reinforcing the film's critique of consumerism. Subliminal frames. David Fincher included subliminal frames of Tyler Durden at the beginning of the film, which many viewers might not consciously notice. These frames were designed to subtly plant the idea of Tyler's presence in the narrator's mind. The narrator's apartment. The narrator's apartment is filled with various items that hint at his state of mind and inner struggles. These include IKEA furniture, which is emblematic of mass-produced, soulless consumer culture. Repressed male aggression. Fight Club explores themes of repressed male aggression. To prepare for their roles, both Edward Norton and Brad Pitt took lessons in actual, controlled fighting, which they used in the film's fight scenes. Censorship and controversy. Fight Club faced significant censorship and controversy upon its release due to its themes of violence and anti-consumerism. Some critics accused it of promoting harmful behavior. Critical reappraisal. While the film initially received mixed reviews and was a box office disappointment, it has since been widely praised and has become a cult classic. It is now considered one of the most influential films of its time. In conclusion, Fight Club is a deeply thought-provoking and multi-layered film that challenges societal norms, explores the dark side of consumer culture, and delves into the complexity of identity and rebellion. It offers a powerful commentary on the struggles of contemporary life and the necessity of confronting one's inner demons to find genuine meaning and purpose in a world driven by consumerism. The film's unique narrative structure, coupled with its profound themes, has made it a cult classic and a touchstone for discussions about the human condition in a modern world. Thank you for staying with us and hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.